I wonder if anyone knows how to get through this labyrinth.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this is a tag video that I'm not doing at home. I'm doing it at work. It's well past the time I should be at home, but I'm just chilling out and getting my head sorted for tomorrow. And I just thought I'd do this before I go home. But this is a very quiet college because I'm probably one of the last people here, to be fair. But yeah, it's a nice big room with a lot of natural reverberation, so that will probably help the whole microphone problem. I had another person say that I'm too close to the camera at home, so apologies for being too close to the camera. I haven't got a lapel mic, which I think is the only thing that can solve that. So anyway, this is a tag called Behind the Booktube Tag, and it was created by Shelley Swearingen, who does a really good channel, which I'll link below, so check out the channel. Oh, it's brilliant. She's really excited about what she reads. It's really cool. So I think that's a lot of the charm of her channel. So check out Shelley's channel. And I was tagged by Jack from Spread Book Joy. So we've become friends. It's been really cool. So Jack's been one of the nice things to happen to me from Booktube, which has been really good. So I'll probably mention that in a minute when I answer these questions. But this very bright light, by the way, is natural light. It's very sunny and it's very warm. I don't know. I mean, a lot of students were saying today, I can't do anything, it's too hot. And it was very hot today. But anyway, massive shout out to Jax, and thank you for tagging me in this. It's a really interesting tag, which is about our experience of Booktube since we've been doing it. So I think my first book-related content on here goes back to 3 years, I think. But it's been a really interesting journey. So let's have a look at these questions. So the first one is, what has surprised you the most about Booktube, both in a good way and in a bad way? I'll tell you now, I haven't made any notes, so we'll see how we get on. What has surprised you the most about Booktube, in a good way and in a bad way? I've been surprised about the community aspect, so I didn't really notice that before I started doing it. And I think that's a really cool thing. So not just the way that you get to know the people who comment on your videos, but also the community of booktubers, so how they become friends and how I've become friends with some of them. And that's been awesome. So that's a really good thing I've noticed. Bad things, what have I noticed? Was it the most, surprised you the most, negative-wise? I think the draw into doing the events has surprised me, which can be seen as negative. It's also a positive thing, but it does get in the way of your own reading. So, but you do feel like, like I said in the previous video recently, it's not necessarily FOMO, it's not necessarily fear of missing out, you just really want to do it. So, yeah, that surprised me, that there's this really strong pull to do all the events, and I didn't really think about the events before I did it, I guess. I didn't really notice it so much. But yeah, so that's probably surprised me. Second question, how do you balance reading and Booktube with the rest of your life? I try and read as much as possible, and the filming of videos, like I'm doing now, comes as more of an impulsive thing. So I don't read as an impulsive thing so much. Basically, if I've got free time, I'll pick up a book, and if I'm on my own, I'll pick up a book for certain. So there are things I'm juggling all the time with my life because I'm a teacher, I'm in a band, I do this, I'm also a writer, and I've got family. So all those different things are what I'm juggling with all the time. So as far as whether reading and Booktube are competing, I think everything's competing. So I do think that's one of the lovely things about reality. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because one of the lovely things is that you're always busy, or you can be always busy if you've got that sense of curiosity or sense of willingness to try things, or you know, you're got an artistic brain or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a lovely thing in life, but all of those things are competing. So Booktube and reading are just in the mesh of things that are competing, and I don't do, if I don't have time to do a Booktube video, I won't do it, but I tend to have time to do it. Reading kind of comes and goes between different days. Some days I'll get lots of reading done, some days not as much. And I pretty much do read every day, and I don't make videos every day. So, although saying that, I make a lot in advance, and as I was saying in another previous video, I'll make a lot more videos than I realised I would, which I might get to in a second. Third question is, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? Okay, so the Patreon thing is an interesting one. I absolutely applaud people who do it and think it's awesome. I would struggle to think of things that I could reward people with, and certainly at a tier level as well, you know, like first aid. And this is something that I've thought about in the context of my band as well, because we've thought about doing more of a crowdfunding kind of process for making albums. And in the end, I just wanted to just raise the money through the gigging and go down that road. Patreon, again, is something else like the crowdfunding, Kickstarter kind of things where you have to have a tiered rewards. And yeah, I'd struggle to think of something certainly book related like that. So yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do it or if I'd be successful at doing it. But I certainly don't have a problem with people doing it. But I've never really thought about doing it myself because of that. Number 4, have you made any mistakes on BookTube? I think some videos are better than others, but a mistake is quite a specific thing. And have I made a mistake? There's a couple of times people have corrected me on stuff, which is like if I've said something and someone said, oh, it's actually this. I've made that kind of mistake, but nothing big, I don't think. I mean, I do play safe in a lot of ways. If I've got if I've got a controversial issue, I don't usually use YouTube to blast it out there. So I'm not particularly a controversial channel necessarily, although I suppose I might be to some people. I mean, for example, I haven't said that much about my ideas about religion. I think it's quite clear where my politics lie on my channel, but again, not in a particularly controversial way. So yeah, I do think I play safe in some ways because I'd just rather not go down some horrible tunnel where it's all conflict. I'm not into that. Not anymore. I haven't been for a long time, by the way. Number 5, do you have any advice for new booktubers? Yeah, do it. Just put stuff out there. I do think that every channel is different, so there might be some similarities, but it's a very personal thing. And I think you should put out whatever you want to put out. So if you want to do some quirky little things in your channel, do it. If you want to spend ages editing, do it. If you want to cover a particular subject that seems to be at odds with other bits of your subjects, do it. You know, I think there's so many ways you can do this thing. So do it your own way. Definitely do it. Don't sweat too much about whether it's growing or not, because hopefully it'll happen anyway, and it does grow in different rates. So some people it grows really quickly, some people it doesn't grow so much. But yeah, I'd say that just do it and do whatever kind of channel you want, whatever content you want. Number 6, what are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? Well, we'd all like the algorithm to work for us, because clearly it gets your videos out there, and we don't do this to talk to ourselves. We do it because we want to talk to people, so we want people to see it and then make comments and all that, and hopefully make friends in that. So the more the algorithm works for you, or the more you've done something that helps the algorithm, the better for that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's been any advice I've used from other people that's been that successful. I mean, I've heard a lot about shorts making it really good for the algorithm, but my shorts don't get a lot of views. And views in general on my channel are quite random. It's quite bizarre. I think consistently the book reviews don't get a lot of views. My film reviews don't get a lot of views. But I think it's hard to pin down when something's doing well or not doing well with the algorithm. But I do think that it will work for you sometimes, you know. So I've got one video that's really successful, and that seems to have hit something with your algorithm. So, you know, that kind of thing can happen sometimes. Next one, number 7A, how do you decide which videos to make? Like I said earlier, it's very impulsive. So I might see someone do something and go, oh, that's a good idea, or I might bounce off something. Sometimes I've done reaction videos where I've wanted to add to what they've already said. I've never done a reaction video where I've just contradicted what they said and said it was an awful video. I wouldn't do that. There's no point. I'm not into that sort of thing. But I might have said, oh, this is a really good video, and this is something that's been left out, or something that's my opinion that you can add to it, that kind of thing. I might have done that. I've done that a few times. I've got books that I love to review. Sort of, there's a few things I'd like to have done on the channel that I haven't got around to doing yet, so themed videos. But yeah, how I decide to make them, just the things I decide to are usually quite impulsive, and I've set a few things up on my channel now, like the monthly wrap up as well, and I occasionally do book hauls. So there's some things that are just regular spots anyway. But certainly for the book reviews, it's the books that really hit me, really, that I want to talk about. And sometimes I've done one because it's been a buddy read or something. Number 7B, are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? I would be, but I do film a lot of videos. So I'm overwhelmed by how many videos I've done. But I haven't run out of ideas yet. I do think I'm going to run out of ideas. I always think that. A couple of years ago, I thought, how long can I do this channel for? Because I'm going to run out of things to do. But I seem to keep going. So, but I never seem to get overwhelmed with ideas. 8, have you regretted posting a video? Yeah, I've done some videos again, partly because I hadn't noticed there was something funny in my hair, or there was a spot somewhere. I don't know. There's been things that I've been a bit embarrassed about with my looks or something. But, I'm sure a lot of people are very self-conscious of that kind of thing. Sometimes because of my over-scheduling, and I'll schedule something for months later, I almost reposted something because I tagged PAX in it, and it was relatively recent. But I didn't in the end, and I just left it as it was. And I don't know, it just felt odd to do it again, to kind of remove Pax's mention. So yeah, I mean, I haven't regretted posting a video in a major way, like I'd done something bad. But there's just been a couple of times where just aesthetically I wanted to change it, or there's been an update and that kind of thing. Sometimes these videos take ages to do, so sometimes the editing process can go a bit wry. So, yeah. Number 8, have you regretted... No, I've done that one. Number 9A, are the number of views, subscribers meaningful? Of course they are. It's a funny little question, that, because I think there are some people who would say they're not important to them. And that just seems odd when you kind of put that alongside other things they say when they're celebrating a milestone, or they're talking about how lovely it is to read the comments, or they're talking about the community that they are part of, that they love, the fact that there are people emailing them, which is clearly the result of subscribers. And, there's definitely the sense that I think anyone likes the fact there's more contact, there's a growth in the amount of people you're talking to. So it's kind of an obvious question. Anybody loves some kind of visibility being a thing with the videos they make. Otherwise, we wouldn't make them. So I think people will sometimes pretend they don't because they think it sounds cooler, or it sounds like they're more honest or something. But it's kind of the reverse, really, because they're not being honest, because people clearly do enjoy having more people to talk to, more people to bounce off, more people that see their videos, and that kind of stuff. So subscribing count does help that, I think. The viewing count is obviously something else that people do comment about, because they'll go, oh, and blah, blah, blah doesn't get many views. Blah, blah does get views. So people are aware of it. It's very difficult to not notice it on your channel. So, yeah, I think we do this to talk to someone else. We don't do this to talk to ourselves. So I think it's kind of an obvious question, really. 9B, are the number of viewers or subscribers a measurement of success? Okay, so that, again, is a question that clearly is born out of people saying that there's a better measure of success, which is the amount, the kind of friends you've made, and the kind of contact, the depth of contact you have, the depth of conversation that you have, thanks to Booktube. Absolutely, that's a measure of success. But it also relates to views and subscribers, because those people that you talk to a lot and have a really good friendship with tend to be the ones that comment on your videos. and more subscribers will give you more people that might potentially become those friends. So it's the same thing. Number 10, are you disappointed by the growth of your channel? I'm actually thrilled that it has grown. So I might watch, I think probably almost all of the booktubers I watch have got tons more subscribers. So I might be aware of that. But I think you've got to be realistic. And I know that there's loads of people that are more compelling or have a wider range of what they read, or there's certain things that they read that really like attract a lot of people, or they might be better at making videos, they might be more articulate, they might be funnier, there might be all sorts of different reasons why the thumbnails might be better, there might be all sorts of reasons why people gravitate to other people. So I think it's important not to compare yourselves to other people, and if you have got growth of any kind, then enjoy it and celebrate it, and be really pleased, which I am. I am pleased that there is growth. And I get very excited when there's a little spurt, when there's a few new subscribers, rather than just sort of 1 or 2 now and again. So that doesn't happen very often, but now and again there'll be like 5, and I'll be like, oh my God, and it'll be really exciting. Because, ultimately, like I'm trying to say with these other questions, these are real people, usually, probably. They should be real people, not just bots or whatever. That means there are potentially people who will comment on your page, and you can start a friendship with them, blah, 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 blah. So, these are real things. So, absolutely, growth of the channel means that your videos mean something to someone, they want to reply, or they want to see the next one, and it's lovely. Number 11, have you ever thought about quitting BookTube? I have wondered if I had the time, which is part of the reason why I get really, 2 summers ago, it's not the summer just gone, but the one before, I went crazy. I had loads of free time, and I made tons of videos, and I made videos that I scheduled a few months ahead, and I've kind of got into that habit. And I think it's because there's some voice in my head thinking I'm going to run out of ideas or run out of videos to do, and there'll be these other videos that will be there. So I haven't really necessarily thought about quitting, but I have thought about whether I can keep doing it, realistically. So I don't want to quit necessarily. I do enjoy it. I think I will quit if... I know that I've had a situation before where somebody upset me on a video, and it wasn't intentional, and I thought, I don't know if this is for me really, because I'm not that thick-skinned, and I didn't quit. It would have been crazy to quit for that sort of thing anyway, but I didn't, because I thought, and the reason why I almost did, or thought about it at least, was because I thought you probably have to be thick-skinned to do something like this, because it's throwing out public videos, and I thought at some point it might get heavy, and I might just not like it. So yeah, I didn't necessarily think about quitting, but I did think about whether I should be doing it at one point. 12A, what are the most touching comments? The most touching comments on the videos are the ones that are quite personal, or the ones that are quite big comments. Like, I never, this is relatively recent, but it was amazing when Michael K. Vaughan put a comment on one of my videos saying that this was the best video I've ever seen on this book. Couldn't believe that, because it's one of his favourite books for a start. But also, I just thought that was an incredible thing for him to say, because he clearly would have seen a lot of videos on that subject. I naturally believe I'm not quite as articulate as some other people, and I thought that was just awesome to see that. So that was one thing. People, I remember, I know Leslie, if you're there, you've made some really lovely comments that have made my day. Stephanie as well. There's some lovely people that have... I actually love it when people reply to my comments on other people's videos, and you don't necessarily know my name from my channel name, and they've said, thanks Gareth, or thanks G. And I love that, because that's more personal, and it means something that they know that it was me or whatever. So it's like a bit of a friendship thing as well. But yeah, touching comments, they're personal, and they're really complimentary, and they're very friendly and lovely. Those kind of things, which do happen. It's really nice. So yeah. What are the most negative comments? 12B, what are the most negative comments? The only negative comments which seem to be I've now got another one recently, is this thing about me being too close to the camera. Like, I don't want to see your face. Maybe I should do it close to the camera, but with a bag on my head. No, seriously, I don't really get negative comments. When I first started doing book reviews, somebody that's now become a friend corrected me in a very pedantic way, which amused me at the time. And I was like, what? But I absolutely get it. I absolutely, especially now that I know them better. I know exactly what they were doing and where they came from. And it kind of amuses me a bit. But it wasn't that negative. But I remember being a little bit like, whoa, do I have to get everything right? When I did it, because I only just started talking about books on the channel at the time. It was a little while back. So that was quite funny. But yeah, I'm quite lucky, really. I haven't read too many negative comments yet. 13. In regards to Booktube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'd like to be still doing this. So one thing I should hopefully be doing, unless I get seriously ill or something, is definitely going past the point where my 100th album challenge finishes. So they're all scheduled up until December 2024. And what I didn't want to do is have my channel just these little shorts on the 100 albums. So I've been trying to make sure there's stuff in between those. So that's going to happen. But in 5 years, well after I've finished doing that, I'd like to still be enthusing about books, enthusing about life. And, because I try and do videos now and again, they're a bit philosophical as well. And, 5 years' time, who knows? 5 years' time, cool. That's a long way away. Hopefully I'll still be gigging as well. I should be still gigging in 5 years' time. But yeah, who knows? But there's so many books out there. If you've been watching my... I don't know when I'm putting this out, but I've done a library tour of my bookshelves in my bedroom, the area that I'd like to do most of my videos. And I've been going through my shelves, and most of them are TBRs. Most of them are books I haven't read yet. And there's hundreds of books I haven't read yet. So I've got a lot of material to keep going. So hopefully I'll keep going, because I do enjoy this, and it's lovely talking to people. And if you're watching this and you like the chat and you like talking about what I've been saying, then that's exactly what I'm talking about. I like the conversation that comes off these things. So please comment below on that note. Please comment below on anything I've said here. And thanks for watching, anyone that has been watching. And this is quite a nice one. Shelley, I don't know if you're watching this. This is a really nice kind of anniversary tag, or a tag that's about your experience with Booktube and an excuse to thank people that do watch and that do subscribe and that do comment, isn't it? So this is a very cool set of questions. It's quite an all-encompassing one as well, really, isn't it? So yeah, I don't really want to give it up. I am enjoying this, but I guess it could be that I might disappear from making content sometimes if I get too busy, and I might have stuff scheduled up so much that you don't even notice. I don't know. But one of the things I will say about the way I've scheduled things up is that it can cause problems if if I put something scheduled for months later and then the world changes, like I said with packs, or you want to tag different people, or you have a different opinion about something, then that can be a bit of an issue. So I do need to be careful if I'm going to film a video and then schedule it for like 4 or 5 months later. That might be a bit silly. So there we are. That's my thoughts on that. But again, thank you so much if you've been watching this. This is now quite long. So thanks a lot. Bye. Actually, before you go, I haven't tagged anyone yet, so I need to tag people. So I need to tag Robin from Bookends and Biscuits. I need to tag Brian from Bookish. I need to tag Chatty, the Mad Chatter. And Nick from another Booktube channel. And I don't know if he's done it, but I'll tag Big Owl's books, hard books and classics. Owl's big hard books and classics. Owl, you're tagged. All right, anyway, back to the music. Bye.
I know where you're going. about you.